that the Palestinians are going to give up anything. We feel that we have a just cause. We do not like the situation we are living under, and I guess violence only begets violence.
And tonight, the story of the Falkland Islands dispute is also far from over.
While the battlegrounds are now silent, the echoes of war shake in mainland Argentina. Foreign Minister Costa Mendez and another top official reportedly have offered resignations, and the military junta in Buenos Aires could crumble within days. War, of course, also lives on for the wounded. This group of the British variety received clearance to return home today, but the Argentinian wounded may not go home for quite some time. The British first want an assurance that Argentina won't attack again.
I have to tell you that with all these human beings, in the very sad and sorry state they are, we are getting absolutely no cooperation whatsoever from the government of Argentina, which in any way assists in their return.
Anger continues to fill the streets of Buenos Aires, but today it was much tamer than last night's free-for-all, which pitted thousands against the tear gas and the rubber bullets of police trying to maintain order in that defeated nation. New allegations hurled at the Chisago County Sheriff's Department today. A report from Mike Walsher coming up on the 10 p.m. report.
You've decided on a paint sprayer for the big job, and there are two to choose from. This one and the Graco Roto Flow, both about the same price. This one paints a tough-to-control, uneven spray pattern. And yes, it's that noisy. The Graco Roto Flow paints a clean-edged, even spray pattern that adjusts to put the paint where you want it. And yes, it's this quiet. Two to choose from, one to buy. The one that puts the paint where you want it.
Fred G. Anderson, Lampert Building Center, Abbott Paint and Fleetway Stores.
Immaculate, spotless, clean as a whistle. But let's move closer, 7,000 times closer into the carburetor, where we see dirt. Dirt like this could impede your car's performance. Fortunately, you can wash dirt away before it accumulates with mobile detergent gasoline. It treats dirt like dirt.
More allegations today against a sheriff's department north of the Twin Cities.
Dave, 3 former employees of the Chisago County Sheriff's Department have now filed formal complaints against Sheriff Floyd Panotti. They say he treated them unfairly, and the former employees have now taken their charges to the Minnesota Department of Human Rights. The sheriff, meantime, says it's a case of character assassination. Mike Walsher and researcher Mike McMahon looked into the allegations. Here's their report.
For 2 years, she was a Chisago County deputy sheriff. But when Shirley Sjogren went to work 1 year ago today, she was told she'd been suspended. It seemed 5 female employees of the department had signed a statement alleging that Sjogren had venereal disease and was passing it around the office.
This was gossip, half-truth. These women were jealous, and it was obvious because it had started from the day I was hired. The first thing Panotti said to me when I was hired was how attractive I was, and I thought, right there, you know.
A doctor's statement proved that Sjogren did not have VD, merely a non-communicable inflammation of the uterine wall. Sjogren was offered her job back, but she believed the work atmosphere would be too tense, and later she filed the human rights complaint against Sheriff Panotti. The sheriff says, as head of the department, he simply tried to help employees with their problems.
Consequently, I did certain things to try to assist employees that were not readily accepted. And in my opinion, they were in the vein of assistance.
If he wanted to believe gossip, he was believing gossip. He wasn't being honest at all.
Shirley Sjogren is not the only ex-deputy to charge that Sheriff Panotti treated her unfairly. Still another former deputy also has taken his case to the Minnesota Department of Human Rights. Ron Gruning used to work undercover and asked that we not show his face. About a year ago, Gruning got drunk and tore up the lawn of his landlord with his truck. He was asked to resign and seek treatment, after which the sheriff would discuss Gruning's future. Gruning did complete treatment, but claims he was never offered his old job.
I guess by getting rid of me is going to make that individual, that landlord or that voting citizen happy that the sheriff has done something proper, at least in that man's eyes, apparently. And hopefully I wouldn't cause any trouble, you know, so the sheriff has regained a vote, and I'm gone. What does he care?
each one of those individuals, each one of those individual peoples, I view as good people. And as I've said publicly before, would not hesitate to rehire them.
The sheriff says the charges are part of a conspiracy between the legal profession, the state bureaucracy, and the news media to get him out of office. Regardless, rulings on the charges by the State Human Rights Commissioner are not expected till midsummer or later. With researcher Mike McMahon, I'm Mike Walter, WCCO Television News, Chisago County.
The trial of John Hinckley, Jr., the man accused of shooting President Reagan, is fast coming to an end. Today, Hinckley refused to tell why he shot President Reagan, saying to the judge it was totally his decision not to testify. The government and defense have now rested their cases. The jury is expected to begin its deliberations on Friday. The jurors will be sequestered in a downtown Washington hotel. Despite a battering by high interest rates, folks in the home construction industry are finally getting some good news.
Home construction starts increased 22% during the month of May. That's the industry's best month in a year, with more than 1 million new homes now under construction. And Governor Al Quie had some good news today for Minnesotans who want to buy their first homes. He announced the start of a mortgage program that will provide 550 potential homeowners with mortgages starting at 12%, well below the market rate. Those rates will rise to 15 4/10% in 10 years. Applicants for the state program must meet income criteria to receive the mortgage money. In addition to shelter, one of our most persistent needs, our strongest forces, of course, is food. And tonight, Americans are being warned to change our diets to reduce our risk of cancer. The National Academy of Sciences says we need to cut back on fat and salt-cured foods such as bacon and hot dogs. Hot dogs? And drink less alcohol. Instead, we ought to be eating more fruits, vegetables, and whole grain foods. According to the good doctors, diet could be responsible for up to 40% of cancer in men and 60% in women. Roller skates and bicycles have also been considered hazardous to our health during the past years, at least around Minneapolis lakes.
And the Park Board acted today to make that sport more safe. In doing so, it ended what's become known as the Great Skating Controversy. Tom Hendrick reports.
Lake of the Isles, Calhoun, and Harriet have their own kind of rush hour traffic. All day, most days, the Park Board had decided to ban skating and cycling, too, to clear up the congestion. But when bikers and cyclists came to protest at the board meeting this afternoon, some wearing new T-shirts for the occasion, they found the Park Board had done a turnaround. One commissioner has decided since the controversy began to switch to skating himself rather than fight it.
I thoroughly enjoyed it, and the movement back and forth. There's something sort of graceful about it. And I did make it all the way around.
Which way?
The board decided rather than ban the activities, it would instead put them together in one direction, one-way traffic, to guard against the danger of head-on collisions.
As a frequent bicycler, a number of roller skaters have fallen down right in front of me, and is asking for serious injury.
There has been a petition circulating around the Kenwood district. We have collected, I believe, close to 5,000 signatures, and that alone has given us some idea what public opinion has been about all the different alternative ideas. And from what I have gathered, from maybe close to 500 signatures I've gathered, I believe that the one-way system probably is the most workable, most popular, and easily initiated plan that we have had here.
I like your idea, one way around. I think that should be extended to the automobile use as well. I don't think we should exclude them.
The one-way traffic solution was passed unanimously. Everyone left happy. Unless vetoed by the mayor, the new ordinance will become law in 10 days. A study will get underway this fall to determine whether automobile traffic around the lakes should be banned to give the skaters and bikers and joggers more room. Watch out, one commissioner joked. Frisbees and footballs are next. I'm Tom Hendrick, WCCO Television News, Minneapolis.
And in just a moment, we will get the total weather picture from Dr. Walt Lyons. Then Debbie Ely will report on why some people are not too happy about our latest cool spell.
How do you get a vital document from your desk to one across the world? Hand it to DHL Worldwide Courier Express, for whom the world is one big desk. DHL delivers your documents safely, on time, by hand. And if our worldwide offices can't help you, who on earth can? DHL Worldwide Courier Express. You couldn't express it better.
A surprising fact that's really not that surprising after all.
Did you know that more people bought a Buick last year than any Japanese or German import? One reason may be Buick Regal. Just look at it. Many people think it's one of the most beautiful cars GM makes, and we think you'll like the price. So if you're one of those people who thinks June is the best month to buy, why not a Buick tomorrow at your favorite Twin Cities Buick dealer?
State of Ohio got hit by a blockbuster last night, a storm that produced 86-mile-an-hour winds in the town of East Lake near Cleveland. Those winds toppled buildings, overturned trees and cars, and left a massive cleanup necessary in their wake. In Columbus, 2 tornadoes were spotted, and at least 2 boaters are now missing and presumed drowned in Lake Erie after that storm.
Your turn, Dr. Walt.
You have seen and reported on many incredulous, strange, unusual events in your career as a journalist, have you not?
Oh, yes, indeed.
Well, I have too. Now, this happens to be a picture of a hailstorm. Just your basic 60,000-foot cloud like went through Ohio last night. From hailstorms fall hailstones, right?
As big as softballs and so forth.
And all that, right? We've been through this before. This is the 100th anniversary, though, of my personal favorite hailstone.
All-time tragedy, huh?
No, not at all. But in this state, in 1882, a hailstone fell in Dubuque, Iowa, with living frogs inside.
Come on, Dr. Walt.
Frogs.
Oh, come on.
They didn't say ribbit, but it really happened, honest. Now, on our own radar tonight, 100 years later, we don't see any hailstones, but we do see a few lily pads getting splattered as some showers move through the area, and that is good for most people who have gardens like I do and lawns which are getting a little brown. Today started off 49 degrees and went all the way up to 83. Now, that's 6 above normal, but we were 8 below normal, so the day as a whole was a little bit below normal. We have not had an above normal day this cool month of June yet. Right now, it is pleasant, 69 degrees, northeast winds at 7, 63%, the higher humidity. The barometer is also getting higher as cooler, heavier air moves into town. Look what we had last night, folks. It was 54 in the heat of the city of St. Paul, 49 officially, but 32 for the low at Sandstone. That is the urban heat island effect, in effect. And there were some record low temperatures up the road, 37 at St. Cloud, 35 at Duluth, 33, the official nation's cold spot, and that includes Alaska, at Hibbing. Today's highs had warmed up with the strong sunshine. In fact, it was 105 out around Imperial, California, although only 66 in San Diego. And, unfortunately, most of the warm air is still staying well to the south, and that cool air has been sliding down from Canada. In the last 36 hours, this satellite replay just shows those massive thunderstorms roaring across Ohio and other Midwestern states. They finally moved off to Pennsylvania, where they're getting rocked and socked tonight. We just had some very few light showers associated with just a slight reinforcing cool front. This is the latest satellite picture down from space, and you can see some of the clouds that we've had right overhead, and these, over the last few hours, these have been moving steadily southeastward. That's the cold front. Those are the showers. If you don't like satellite, let's watch the radar. This is how it's been going, generally sliding from the west to the east. There have been, in the last few hours, some pretty heavy showers moving just north of the cities themselves. Most of us only got a sprinkling. These are basic garden variety showers, at least I hope in my garden. And they're going to be light, and they're going to pass out of here for the most part without any ruckus. Tomorrow there may be a few lingering showers in the early hours. 1 or 2 brief ones could redevelop during the day, but basically it's going to be cool northwesterly flow coming down out of Canada. The air will be relatively dry, and it looks like that's going to be the pattern for the next several days, including up in Duluth, where the big marathon is this weekend. As far as tomorrow's highs, it's going to be still basically cool in the north, warm in the south, and lows tonight generally in the 50s here, 40s further up the road. And tomorrow, temperatures will be in the low 70s, southern Minnesota, 60s most of the rest of the 5-state area. Midday weather will show the majority of the showers sliding southeastwards, and patches of clouds and sun fighting for space in the sky during most of the day. Tonight, though, occasional showers will continue off and on for a while. The winds have already shifted into the north, and the low will be about 55 degrees. For tomorrow, few showers off and on in the early morning and again late in the afternoon, but basically a partly cloudy day. High 72, north to north winds will be a bit breezy. And there is perfectly normal but slightly coolish weather continuing with a slight chance of showers over the weekend. But you don't believe the frogs? Okay, we've got reports of fish and alligators.
Oh, come on.
Real, genuine, bona fide reports.
You bring them in. Hailstones as big as frogs and alligators.
Oh, no, not hailstones with alligators in, just hailstones with frogs in them.
I see.
It's a slight distinction.
Probably won't come as a surprise to you that not everyone is happy with the weather forecast this week. Debbie Ely explains.
This week, the weather forecasters told us that the next 30 days would probably be cool and wet. While the prospects of more 78-degree days are ideal for some, it's not doing much for the businesses which thrive on hot weather, like the person who hawks ice cream on the Nicollet Mall, or Minneapolis' outdoor pools, where attendance is way down. Though the pools are heated, when the swimmers get out, the cool air sends them scurrying for towels. Cool air is something we are not buying this summer. NSP reports there has been one day when conditions were right for air conditioners. That compares with 49 days at this same time a year ago. The fellow who manages this appliance store is feeling the effects. Air conditioner sales are off by 35%.
Air conditioners are an impulse item, and customers will buy them based on a need. And if the weather is quite warm and humid, they'll purchase air conditioners. And
that lack of warm, humid days also concerns farmers. Two-thirds of Minnesota's soybean fields look like this test plot at the University of Minnesota, underdeveloped, and the plants are now in a critical stage.
This time of the year, during the latter part of June and into early July, is when the maximum leaf tissue is being produced by soybeans, just prior to flowering and the pollination of the seed. So we need to have good early season growth in order to get maximum yield.
The state's corn crop is also entering that important development stage. Agronomists say hot, sunny days will pull the crops out of this slump. But if what meteorologists say is true, this summer's weather could be iffy.
There is a slight tendency for summers to march in lockstep, so if you have one cool month, you're likely to have a cooler one following it, but that's only a very slight tendency.
Debbie Ely, WCCO Television News.
Nothing nails tall weeds like Roundup herbicide through a pipe wick. And now you can get a coupon for a free gallon of Roundup when you order a pipe wick kit for only $79.95. You can assemble your pipe wick kit in only a few hours. It's a $210 value. You save $130. See your dealer or call 800-453-4000 for your pipe wick kit and a coupon for a free gallon of Roundup. That's 800-453-4000.
If you look around, you might find no wax floor tile on sale somewhere. But right now, Color Tile has it for half price. You might find sable oak parquet or ceramic tile on sale somewhere, but Color Tile has both for half price. And somewhere, wallpaper's on sale, but Color Tile has it for